Fellow deputies,
今天是38
today
国际劳动
is
妇女节
International Women's Day.
让我们以大会主席
In
团
the
的名
name
义
of the Presidium of
向各位
NPC,
女
let
代
us
表、
extend
女委
festival
员、
greetings and
女
best
工作人
wishes
员
to all women deputies,
向
members
全
and
国
staff,
各族各界妇
to
女
women of all ethnic
向
groups,
香港特
and
别行政区
also
澳门特
women
别行
in
政区
Hong Kong SAR
台湾
and
地
Macau
区
SAR,
女同
and
胞
also in Taiwan,
和海外女侨
as
胞
well as women of
向世
the
界
overseas
各国妇
Chinese,
女
and
致
to
以
women
节日
of
的祝
all
福
countries in the
和
world.
美好的祝愿。各位代表，
Deputies,
今天的全体会议
today's
应出席
plenary
代表
meeting is supposed to be attended by
2929人，出
2,929
席
with
2869 人，
2,869 present, 60
出
absent.
席人数
The
符合
attendance
法定
met
人
the
数。
quorum.
现在开会。
Let's start.
今天全体会的有3项议
There
程，
are 3 items on today's agenda.
现在进行
We
1
shall
项议
now
程，
proceed to the first
审议
item,
全国
which
人民
is
代表大会
the review
常
of
务
the
委
work
员会
report of
工
the
作报
Standing
告。
Committee of the National People's
下面
Congress.
请
Please
全
allow me
国
to
人民代表
invite
大会常务委员会委
Chairman
员
of
长
the Standing Committee
赵乐
of
际
the
同志
National People's
做报告。
Congress, Comrade Zhao Leji, to deliver the report. Fellow deputies,
我受全国人大常委
on
会委
behalf
托
of the Standing Committee of
向
the
大会
National People's
报告
Congress,
工作
I now
起于
present this report
审议
on its work for your deliberation.
过去1年的工作。
The year in review.
2024年
The year
是中华人民共和
2024
国成立
marked
75
the
周年，
75th anniversary of the
以习
founding
近
of
平
the
同志
People's
为核心
Republic
的
of
党中
China.
央
The CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core brought together the Chinese people of all ethnic groups and led them in overcoming difficulties and forging ahead with fortitude. Therefore, we ensured that the progress while maintaining
高质量发展
stability
扎实
made
推
solid
进
progress in high-quality
改革开
development,
放
further
实现
deepened
深化
the reform
民
and
生
opening
保
up,
障
and
扎
made
实
solid
有力
efforts in guaranteeing
社会大
people's
局
well-being
保持
and
稳定
also maintain stability in
中国
social
是现代
law
化
and order,
迈出新的
Thus
坚实步伐。
making new and solid progress in Chinese
经过
modernization.
75年不懈奋
With
斗，
75 years
中国
of
发生
unremitting
沧
efforts,
海桑田的
China
巨
has
大变化
experienced tremendous changes,
中华民族伟大复兴
and the
进入
national
不可
rejuvenation
逆
has
转的
entered an
历史进程，
irreversible historical stage,
充分彰显
fully
中国共
demonstrating
产党领导和
the
我国
obvious
社会主义
advantages
制度的
of the
显著
leadership
优势
of CPC and our socialist institutes.
2024年是全国人民代表大会成立
The year
70周年
2024 also commemorates the
习近平总书
70th
记在庆
anniversary
祝大
of
会
the
上
NPC.
发表重要讲话，
At the meeting,
深刻阐述
General Secretary Xi
人民
Jinping
代
made
表大会
important
制度的
speech
光辉历程、
highlighting the
显著
glorious
优势
history,
宝贵
unique
经验
strengths,
和实践
the
要求，
practical experience, and
为
requirements
坚持
of
好
the
完
People's
善好
Congress
运行
system,
好人民代表大会制度提供了
providing
根
a
本遵循
fundamental base for upholding, improving, and running the
70
People's
年
Congress
实践
system to good
告诉
effect.
人
The
民代表
experience
大
of
会制
70s
度
practice
是符
tell
合
us
我国国
that the
情
People's Congress system
和实际，
is in line
体现
with
社会主
our
义国家性
country's
质，
condition and
保
reality,
证人民当家作
reflect
主的
our country's nature, and
是
is
能够
also
有效
a
凝
good
聚
system
全体人
letting
民
the
力量
people run the country. And that is also a good system that could pull the strengths of the people of all sectors and to advance the Chinese modernization. That also show that the strong vitality and strengths with 70 years practice also encourage us to be more confident in the past theory, system, and culture, and also remain firmly committed to the socialist political advancement with Chinese characteristics, and to further leverage the political strengths of the People's Congresses in order to provide a solid institutional guarantee to realize the fighting goal for the party and the people in the new era, in the new journey. In the past year, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, the Standing Committee taken guidance on the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, and fully implemented the 20th National Party Congress and its second and third plenary session of the CPT Central Committee, and also study and implemented Xi Jinping thought on the rule of law and its key ideas on upholding and improving the People's Congress system. We also upheld the unity between the leadership by the party, the running of the country by the people, and a law-based governance, and advanced whole process people's democracy, and performed its functions in accordance with the law. Therefore, we made new progress and results in our work. First, strengthened implementation of the Constitution, oversight of constitutional compliance, safeguarded the authority and sanctity of the Constitution. We always stick to the core position of the Constitution and also incorporate implementation of the Constitution, and also play and stick to its provisions, principles, and the spirit of the Constitution. We also improved the oversight of the Constitution compliance, and also to bring that into our day-to-day aspect of work. We also make sure that all the work that is also law-based, procedure-based, and standardized. We revised twice the draft version on a law of deputies, which is also submitted to this session for further deliberation and approval. And also at the 75th anniversary of the establishment of the People's establishment of the China, we also to approve the granting of the medals and also honorary titles. And we also to further improve that constitutional review and the normative document recording and review. And we also made a solid work according to the law and the Constitution, make sure that the suggestions and documents received that will go through the procedures. We reviewed all 2,146 normative documents submitted for recording, and we also examined 5,682 suggestions for review made by citizens and organizations, and also provided feedbacks. And we also asked the relevant formulating bodies to revise or rescind 1,040 normative documents. We also further improved the public outreach and education regarding the Constitution. We also practiced General Secretary Xi's important speech on the Constitution, and also organized a seminar on the 11th National Constitution Day, and also to strengthen our efforts in the Constitution education in the special administrative region, and also organize ceremonies for officials to pledge allegiance. We also exercise our constitutional power of appointment and removals. We also made the appointments and removals of the key officials for the government and the country. Second, improving the quality of legislation, and also to better design the socialist legal system with Chinese characteristics. We paid special attention to the legislations in the emerging areas, the legislation in areas involving foreign affairs, and also make sure that the legislative work is done in a scientific and democratic way, and also to follow the law, and also to provide a high-quality guarantee and service. Over the year, we deliberated on 39 items of the legislation, adopted 24 of them, which included the 6 new laws and 14 revised laws, and 4 decisions on legal issues and major matters. We strengthened legislation concerning the economy. We formulated the law on rural collective economic organizations to consolidate and improve the basic rural operation system and develop new rural collective economies to benefit the local people. We also to implement the principle of legality of taxation, revised the draft law on the value-added tax and tariffs, as well as to crack down the key issues on the fake statistics and the financial fraud. We also formulated the statistics law and accounting law, and we also revised the anti-monetary laundering in order to protect the security of the country. We also to strengthen the legislation to improve the people's well-being in response to public concerns regarding the inadequate resources and access, as well as quality in public interest pre-K education. We also to revise the laws on the preschool, public interested preschool legislation, and also the issues with the academic degree administrative system. We also draw the laws on protect the cultural heritage. We also revise that the technology outreach law, and also to let the technology pursue as the key prevailing norm and fashion, and we also to guarantee the public health legal system, and we also advance the legislation in the resource and the environmental protection area. We formulated the resources law to promote the high-quality development of the resources, and also to revise that the minerals laws and make sure that we protect the security of the minerals and let them to be used in the rational way. And we also
improve the national security laws and systems. We modified the National Defense Educational Act to pave the way for the popularization and strengthening of national defense education, patriotism, and national defense development. We have modified the law of PRC on emergency responses so as to protect people's life and property. Support and further deepen reform. We have studied and implemented the measures of the 3rd plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee so as to ensure that those major reform measures could be implemented with legal basis. And we execute the CPC Central Committee's decisions and policies so as to make a decision about progressively prolong the mandatory age for retirement. Give play to the NPC's work in legislation. We carefully identify the programs, take the lead in drafting, organizing, and coordinating, and reviewing the different stages of legislation. Under the leadership of CPC Central Committee, we have joined forces in legislation. We center on the quality of legislation. We adhere to the objective and legislative rules to aggressively strengthen legislation work in a systemic, cooperative, and timely fashion. We adhere to the democratic legislation and open-door legislation so that this entire process of legislation could be more publicized. And third, exercise our authority to supervise legally, to give play to the important role of NPC in supervising the party and the national supervisory system. The Standing Committee comprehensively harnessed the prescribed supervisory method to ensure that our supervision is correct, effective, and according to the law. Over the year, we have reviewed 21 reports of the government's supervisory commissions, the People's Court and People's Procuratorate. We have reviewed the implementation of 5 laws and organized 2 thematic inquiries, conducted 9 thematic investigations, and formulated 2 decisions. Assist high-quality development. We have reviewed the State Council's report on the financial work conditions as to comprehensively strengthening financial regulation and continuously improving the financial capacity to serve the real economy. We have proposed suggestions. We checked on the implementation of enterprises state-owned assets law and listened to the report of the private sector development so that the different economic entities under all forms of ownership could complement each other and enjoy common development. We implemented the one package of incremental policy by the CPC Central Committee and approved the State Council's motion on the replacement of the existing implicit debt with local government debt quota increase. We also reviewed the State Council's report on building the world-class universities and advantageous disciplines with Chinese characteristics. We strengthen the planning and execution process, and the budget and financial statements were reviewed and supervised. We listened to and reviewed the State Council's report on planning, execution, budgetary execution, central financial statement, the fiscal disaster prevention and reduction. And we approved the 2023 central financial statement and proposed certain suggestions as to strengthening the budgetary execution, performance management, implementing proactive fiscal policy, expanding domestic demand, and others. We reviewed the State Council's auditing work report, and the report of the ratification was reviewed so as to improve the long-term mechanism of auditing rectification and to strictly enforce fiscal discipline. Strengthen supervision of the state assets management and the government debt management. We reviewed the comprehensive report of the state asset management and reviewed the State Council's special report on the administrative state asset management. We set up the management reporting system, and for the first time, we reviewed the relevant State Council report and improve people's livelihood. We reviewed the elderly care system report, and we encourage the solving of the problems concerning the elderly and the children. We checked the implementation of social insurance law, the law on intangible cultural heritage preservation, and facilitate ecological and environmental protection, and pursue village revitalization. We reviewed the State Council's report on the completion of the 2023 environmental protection and to conduct the battle against pollution to pursue green and low-carbon development. Check the Yellow River Preservation implementation condition and conduct thematic inquiries, and legally promote ecological protection of the Yellow River area and pursue high-quality development. Review the implementation of the agricultural law and listen to and deliberate on the report of the arable land protection work so as to lay a solid foundation for ecological protection and to spur the steady income increase of the farmers. enhance supervision and judicial work supervision.
国家监察委员会
Review the National Commission of Supervision's report on rectifying the bad practices of the masses and the corruption
最高人
problem.
民法院关于行政审
And
判
we reviewed the Supreme People's Court's report on its administrative jurisdiction, and we reviewed the report by the Supreme People's Procuratorate on its procuratorial work.
支持和保
And
障
fourth,
代表依法
improve the work of the deputies to support their legal exercise of duties.
支持和保障代表
We support and ensure that the deputies could faithfully represent the interests and will of the people and participate in the exercising of national power according to the law, to truly become the bridge between the party, the country, and the people.
依法履职
The deputies perform their duties according to the law and never fail the people's expectation, contributing to the high-quality work
提升
of the
代表
NPC.
议案建议
Improve the
工作质量
quality of deputies' motions and
健全完善
suggestions.
代表议案
We
建议
improve
提出
The entire process work mechanism of the
反馈
motions
前
submission,
流程工作计划
handling, supervision,
推
and
动议案
feedback,
建议内容高质量
so that
办理
the contents of the suggestions and motions could be high quality, and the entire handling process adheres to the principle of high quality.
298件
298 suggestions
9235件建议
during the second
议会
meeting
期
of
间提
the
出的
14th
105件建议
NPC, as well as the 19 legislative programs have been approved and handled. The certain deputies have already received
密切
the
常委会总代表
responses.
的联系，落实常委会总
We
成员
strengthen the
联系代表
communication and the contacts of the eight deputies, and we implement the eight communication system with the deputies and also the standing committees, and we also to implement the deputies with specialties, and also give a full play to their strengths, and also strengthen their participation in the work of the standing committee. We also sent the 275 invitations to the deputies
座谈会，
in a non-voting rights, and also participate and organize the A5, that the symposium with them, and we also to
围绕履职所需
contact closely with the people, and we also organize in order to organize the activities of the deputies in order to form the closer tie between the deputies and the people, and we would like to also bring the people's feedback and the ideas reflected in the suggestions and proposals made deputies. We will also further improve the service guarantee capability, and we also to promote the training system for the deputies and like them to be guided by the policies and political ideas, and also to deepen the breadth and depth of studies, and we also further upgrade the telecommunication technology involved in the deputies' work, and also to regulate the deputies' behavior online. And we also did a good job on the exam, the credentials of the deputies, and we also to pass the by-elections of 3 deputies, and right now we have 2,929 deputies for the 14th NPC. Fifth, we also actively carried out the proactive international communications and to serve the country's the foreign policies, and we to also to perform our policies of NPCs and also conduct the international exchanges at different levels, and the Council of the chairpersons led the delegations to visit 32 countries, participated in 249 activities at home and abroad, and actively carry out the special committees, the friendship groups, and also the deputies, as well as the communication between the deputy parliament members and from the legislative bodies to address the country, advance the country's development. We also participate in the country's bilateral development, and we participate in the 40th meetings of the Parliamentary Union, or IPU. We also participate in the 6 developing countries the workshop. We also send delegations to the multilateral events, including the BRICS Forum, the meetings of the IPU, G20 Parliamentary Speakers Summit, and the Asia Pacific Parliamentary Forum. We also actively speak about the policies, and also we actively practice and explain that the Xi Jinping thought on the foreign affairs, and also to promote the idea of the human community with a shared future, and the 3 global initiatives, and also China's Belt and Road Initiative, as well as Chinese modernization, and also the one country, 2 systems, showcase that the results gained in the 75th journeys of New China, as well as the whole process People's Democracy, to show the strength of the People's Congresses. And we also carry out 6 foreign-related summits covering the Asia, the Africa, and the Latin America places, and also the Pacific Island countries. I let them to really pay a visit to the field and to learn that the lovely China. 6, intensify the self-improvement efforts, and in line with requirement to uphold that the 4-fold role. We also strengthened the ideas in the organization way of conduct and discipline, and also to cultivate a clean way of conduct and also a good political environment to make things done. We improved our work in political ideas. We implemented and studied the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, and also to carry out and plan our work and to support the country and parties, the overarching strategies, and also to study and also participate in the meetings to practice the Xi Jinping thought on the upholding and improving the People's Congresses, and also to study and read the book in this regard. We continue to improve our way of conduct. We strictly comply with the Central Party leadership's 8-point decision on improving work conduct, and also to strictly regulate the work and meeting disciplines, and also to emphasize that the work of the study and also the survey should fully reflect people's will and also people's wisdom. And we also improve our work in the media and public communication and theoretical research. We also organize and improve that the special committees and the working commissions and committees, and also work and also keep synergy with the local People's Congresses. And the results we gain should give the credit to the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core. They are the results of the diligent and hard work of the NPC deputies, members of the NPC Standing Committees, special committees, and employees of NPC bodies. And they are the results of a close collaboration cooperation from the State Council, the National Commission on the Supervision, and the Supreme People's Court, the Supreme People's Procuratorate, and the local People's Congresses at all level, and their standing committees. And they are the result of the full trust and the strong support of the Chinese people of all ethnic groups. On behalf of the NPC Standing Committee, I would like to express our sincere gratitude. We are also keenly aware that there are a number of gaps and shortcomings in our work. We need to further improve the quality of legislative work, and also we should also step up our work in the emergency areas, and also fill in the short links in the foreign-related legislation. And we should also further improve the implementation of the laws. And we should also to make a new stress in our work and also to further improve our capabilities in serving deputies. And also the team should also further strengthen their political thinking, their theoretical level, as well as their working capabilities. And for the standing committees, already place ourselves under the oversight of the people and continue to improve our work by listening to these suggestions.
Our work in the next year. 2025 is the closing year of the 14th Five-Year Plan, and the Standing Committee, under the strong leadership of CPC Central Committee with the Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, will continue to be guided by Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era and comprehensively implement the guiding principles of the 20th National Congress, the second and the third plenary sessions of the 20th CPC Central Committee. And we will continue to fully understand the decisive role of Xi Jinping's core position on the Party Central Committee and in the party as a whole, and the guiding role of Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristic. And we will deeply execute Xi Jinping's thought on the rule of law and his guiding principles concerning improving the People's Congress system and adhere to party's leadership, people's as the master of the nation, and the national governance with the rule of law. First, we will perform our duties according to the Constitution, and we will ensure that the system of constitutional implementation could be implemented. We will set up the reporting mechanism for the constitutional implementation to improve the quality of the constitutional review and filing capacity. Second, promote the legislation work with high quality. We will prearrange the review of 34 legal cases, and we will formulate the National Unity Promotion Law. We will formulate the Private Sector Economic Promotion Law and modify some laws, for example, the Villager Committee's Management Law, and we will continue to compile the ecological and environmental codes and initiate the legal cleaning work. Third, perform the supervision responsibility by centering on the big picture. We will execute the newly modified supervision law and focus on the aspiration and desires and wills of the public according to the decisions of the CPC Central Committee. We will be problem-oriented and results-oriented and pre-arrange 37 projects for supervision. Fourth, give full play to the role of the NPC deputies. We will implement the modified deputy law and implement a working mechanism to gather the public opinion and the wisdom of the public. We will also conduct a county-level and village-level deputy general election investigation. Fifth, enhance our external relations. We will coordinate the different levels of external exchanges and carry out the training session for the developing nations' parliamentary members. Sixth, take solid measures to promote the development of the four organs to improve the quality of the NPC work. Fellow deputies, let's more closely unite and rally around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, remain true to our original mission, and consolidate our confidence while forging ahead. We will carefully implement the responsibilities bestowed by the Constitution and the laws. In this new era, we will embark on this new journey by conforming to, improving, and executing the system of People's Congress, making unremitting efforts to Chinese modernization so that we could build a strong power and strive for national rejuvenation.